1-2, SNX radio, typical skeptic crew. Friday night, we're back in the booth, dropping truth bombs, igniting the proof.
Robin Coley, cosmic collision, unidentified open transmission from Area 51 to Skinwalker Ranch. Declassify the files, give truth a chance. Bass drum thumping, a sonic boom. We're breaking down the walls of every room. Skeptical minds unite tonight underneath the stars, bathed in moonlight. Truth serum flowing through the veins. Open your mind, break the chains. Question everything, challenge the norm, ride the cosmic wave, weather the storm. Truth serum flowing, take a dose, unravel the secrets, expose what's close. Join the movement, the skeptical quest for the hidden knowledge put to the test.
Cryptids creeping in the shadows deep, ancient mysteries, secrets they keep. Bigfoot's footprints, Loch Ness's grace, unexplained phenomena, time and space.
We're chasing ghosts with EMF readers, searching for answers, cosmic leaders, digging for the truth beneath the surface. Uncover the lies with a lyrical purpose. Truth serum flowing through the veins. Open your mind, break the chains. Question everything, challenge the norm, ride the cosmic wave, weather the storm. Truth serum flowing, take a dose, unravel the secrets, expose what's closed. Join the movement, the skeptical quest for the hidden knowledge put to the test.
From Roswell crashes to ancient lore, we're exploring the unknown and so much more. Conspiracy theories, twisted and true, uncover the answers, me and you.
Truth serum flowing through the veins. Open your mind, break the chains. Question everything, challenge the norm, ride the cosmic wave, weather the storm. Truth serum flowing, take a dose, unravel the secrets, expose what's closed. Join the movement, the skeptical quest for the hidden knowledge put to the test.
SNX and typical skeptics sign off. Keep searching for truth. Turn the lights off. I'll keep them on, whatever you choose. Just keep questioning, never lose that skeptical spark, that curious fire. Explore the unknown, take it higher.
Out in the dark, the stars align. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Signals flashing, the secret sign. Sasquatch whispers, UFOs glide. Mysteries unfold, can't hide, can't hide. Voices in the static calling me, calling me. A cosmic rhythm setting me free. SNX, feel the vibe, let it flow. Connections glowing, don't you know? SNX, light the night, let it show. Cosmic groove, we're ready to go. In the woods, shadows move, move. Skyline flickers, it's a neon groove. Expert stories witness sight, unravel truth in the cosmic light. Voices in the static calling me, calling me. A cosmic rhythm setting me free. SNX, feel the vibe, let it flow. Connections glowing, don't you know? SNX, light the night, let it show. Cosmic groove, we're ready to go.
Flashbacks on the track, watch the past unfold. Got a story to tell, a courage untold. Rise up from memories, watch us take control. Echoes of yesterday feed our fight. From shadows to light, we'll take flight. In this race, embrace our might. Hold our dreams, got the future in sight. Rise up high, let courage unbind. Erase the past, keep future in mind. Every step forward, no looking behind. We own this moment, leave fear confined.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of SNX Radio. I'm Coley, and of course, we have Rob from Typical Skeptic Podcast for our Friday night collab. So I'm going to go ahead and obviously, I guess if you've noticed, I'm looking a little odd on the screen. That's because I got a new computer, and for some reason, I can't get StreamYard to load. So I'm going to go ahead and keep dropping the show like I normally do and hand it on over to Rob. So.
Hey everybody, welcome. I'm glad everybody's here tonight. I hope everybody's having a good start to your weekend. We got an amazing night planned for you guys. So we got Darrell Denton on now, one of the best Bigfoot researchers, if not the best Bigfoot researcher. And right after this, in an hour from now, we have Jeff McBurney from he was on Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. So it's a double header night. So like if you're watching now, make sure you tune into the next show. And just take a couple of notes. We're still working on a name for what we want to call this, collab, because we decided we're going to go on with it, and we're going to keep bringing good shows for you guys and good guests, and we got some really big stuff lined up. So yeah, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Coley's YouTube, and follow her on Twitter. Follow me on Rumble, follow me on YouTube, and yeah, I'm trying to think, and follow Darrell Denton, our guest tonight, on his Facebook group. And with all that said, we'd like to give him a big warm welcome to the show. Darrell, thanks so much for coming on. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you both for having me back for part two.
Yeah, and I forgot to read his bio. Darrell Denton is a dedicated Bigfoot researcher whose work explores the mysteries of cryptids, the paranormal, and unexplained phenomena. With years of field research, Darrell documents encounters, investigates hotspots, and shares evidence that challenges mainstream explanations. His passion is uncovering the truth about Sasquatch and giving credibility to those who have had encounters. You can follow his research and updates on his Facebook page, which is Darrell Denton. And it's going to be an awesome show tonight. Darrell always brings the heat when it comes to Bigfoot, so I'm really excited about this. So, yeah, Darrell, it's great to see you again. How's everything going?
Hey, Rob, thanks for having me again. You and Coley, I just think the world of both of you. I appreciate y'all having me on here. I'm honored to be here. Doing great. Been really super busy. About to finish up my conferences for the year. But besides that, I've been on the road doing quite a bit of research and going to people that are interested in having me come out and see what type of creature they have at their house. So that's where I'm at right now.
Well, have people been getting, different people been getting a lot of different cryptid encounters?
I probably get 100 messages a month, or maybe a little less or a little more every month, of people want to know what they have at their home or where they're at, and something on the frequent, nature that they see regularly or hear. And, some of these people are pretty frightened of what it could be, and some of them are just really just want to know what they are and what they do have. And of course, I don't have the time to investigate all those or the money to travel for distances. some of these are all across the U.S. and I try to turn those over to somebody I know in the area if I know somebody in that area. But I go out and I don't do nearly as much as what I used to. Back 2012 through probably about 2018 or so, I had a two-man team, and I got so many messages and calls at that time around the area that I lived in of people having some kind of creature looking through their window at night or something, terrorizing or bothering their animals or some type of scream or some type of, something they had at their home and they didn't know what it was. So, I used to do a little more than that then. I had three men on one team and myself and two other guys on another team. And we used to go out and do that. But it got to the point where the territory that you have to cover and the expense alone is, it's pretty tough to answer all those questions. I try to do it, but I don't do it nearly as much as I did then. You got somebody calling you in Washington and you're in Tennessee. I mean, it's not like you can drive up there. So, I try to turn those over to somebody I know in that area that are pretty knowledgeable and trustworthy to go out and maybe help those people. But it's a constant thing. I get them all the time. It's every day that somebody's messaging me. And that's okay. I don't have an issue with it, but I just can't cover them all. I did that today. I drove about 700 miles today. Went all the way to Pennsylvania, and a gentleman and his wife, super nice folks, that contacted me over 6 months, wanted me to come up there. And, I went up there, and they got some serious stuff going on. Nothing bad, but we have a Bigfoot property. Not everybody adjusts them the same way other people do. They have a family of them, and they're not trying to harm them, but these creatures are very intelligent and they're elusive, and also at the same time, I call them the watchers and the peekers because that's what they basically do. They're trying to watch you and figure out what you're doing and understand if you're the right kind of person that they want to trust. So I could go on about this forever, but there's a whole lot to, being involved with these creatures. You don't just start, then stop. It doesn't quite work that way with these creatures. If they're on your property and they want to be your friend or they want to get to know you, it doesn't end. You just don't one day decide you don't want to be their friend anymore, unfortunately. It's kind of a long, drawn out, saga, as I would put it. A lot of people enjoy them and try to stay with them and be their friends and work with them and do different things they do things for you, do things for them. And most of them, there are dangerous ones out there. I wouldn't suggest anybody to go into the wilderness or the woods by themselves at night if they're trying to research these type of creatures, because first of all, you don't ever find them anyway. They find you. And if you have a bad vibe or a bad energy, you're not going to see one. If you do, it's very unusual because they have a feeling of what you have inside of you. For some reason, they have a special ability to do that. And I truly believe some people are different than other people. They're maybe someone with a good heart or a good vibration. Of course, the higher vibration, in my opinion, is the type people that they relate to more.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. I was wanting to ask you about your field investigations. Can you walk us through maybe one of your most recent field investigations and as maybe some compelling evidence you found or anything interesting that you found?
Rob, I'm sorry, buddy, but you broke up so bad there I couldn't understand quite what you said.
I was going to say, can you walk us through? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no problem. I said, can you walk us through one of your most recent field investigations and any kind of interesting findings that you came across?
Well, that would be today, I guess, the most recent one. I had these folks are super nice people. They're an older couple. They lived in the same area for nearly 40 years on an inherited farmstead in Pennsylvania. I think it was the lady's parents who passed and left her the farm, and they've been living there about 40 years, and they have children, but they're grown. But their children have seen these creatures, and they've been on their farm for apparently a lot longer than they were aware of. But they were quite frightened, when they were watching a movie at 11 o'clock at night, and they seen something looking through the window, and it frightens a lot of people. It can frighten anybody, basically. When you see some creature or someone looking through your window at 11 o'clock at night, and you can see eyes looking through, and the eyes are blinking, and it's something out there, and then you have things that this creature's left for you. Fortunately, in this situation today, these are the creatures that are not a bad one. They're more of a friendly type creature. So they're just trying to understand people and trying to form a relationship with them, in my opinion. But they're frightening a little bit, and anybody would be that's not familiar with them. I'm not an expert in anything. I can only tell you what I've experienced and encountered in my 30-something years of researching these creatures. So these people they feel a lot better today after I spent 4 or 5 hours with them there and told them what they were dealing with. If you don't want these creatures around your house, it's pretty simple. You put up some real bright floodlights that are motion censored that come on, and put up 3 or 4 game cams around on trees around that area, and they're not going to come around because they do not like cameras and they do not like bright light. So the bright light hurts their eyes. So, I learned when I was researching it's better with a blue light. It doesn't seem to bother them quite as much when you're out in the wilderness around them. So that's my most recent one. I have them quite often, but I don't normally have the time to go that far. But these folks were so nice that they've been waiting for quite a while, and I took a trip today and went and visited them, and it's quite obvious that they have an entire family living on their farm.
Wow.
That's absolutely fascinating. So when you go in there and because you guys, if you guys haven't checked out Bigfoot Believers, and oh gosh, I just said it's Darrell. Can you tell everybody the exact name of the group so they have that? I don't have everything right in front of me, unfortunately, with what's going on with this computer. So everybody needs to go and check out Darrell's group. It's absolutely fabulous.
But I could not hear anything you said. Rob, did you pick up what she said?
Yeah, she wanted you to repeat your group. She said she wanted you to repeat your group so people know where they can find you at.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Cody, and I want to thank Cody for being so involved in the group, and she's done such a great job on commenting and being so kind and everything to the people in the group. My group is Bigfoot Believers and Other Creatures. That's Bigfoot Believers and Other Creatures. We are I believe we are the largest private Bigfoot group on Facebook now. So we have about 70,000 members, and we don't tolerate anybody being rude or criticizing anybody or anything like that. So if you're one of those people that want to criticize on pictures or people's comments or experiences, don't join the group. If you want to be in a group that you'll be treated fair and you're welcome to share your experiences, then join us. That's Bigfoot Believers and Other Creatures. And thank you, Cody.
Yeah, you have a lot of integrity when it comes to all that. And I have to say, people really look, and anytime, even how moving it was with Martin Groves and watching his, everything, and you're always on top of it. I've never seen somebody run a group so proficiently. And so, you're just so involved, and everybody just loves Darrell Denton. Everybody in that group, it's just absolutely amazing to see. And so I want to really say, you just drove 700 miles today. You were out. Somebody said, that they had stuff going on. So you went out there on site, on location. And I think that's absolutely amazing. So and that being said, that type of activity, and you just said too, the lights, Bigfoot and just different things. And once you start, I guess, Rob, are you able to hear it?
Yeah, I
think
got you. I can send.
Rob, can you hear me or no? I'm just wondering if it's me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
A lot of times, and I can't understand what's being said. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm so sorry, Darrell. I'm gonna let Rob. I'm just gonna go and see if I can make adjustments, but I'll let Rob go ahead and handle that. I just want to say thank you so much for all you do.
Yeah, she wanted to thank you so much for all you do, and she said that she's never seen anybody run a group like you. She said, you know, the way that you interact with your audience is amazing, and you're so proficient at running the group. And she just wanted to give you props for like the way that you handle that group. And she said, you know, that you guys have like over 70,000 members, and she said it's an amazing Bigfoot community, and she's really happy to be a part of it.
I'm not exactly sure what you said, but were you mentioning Martin Groves? Did I understand that part of it?
Oh yeah, she did mention Martin Groves too. Yeah, she mentioned Martin Groves as well. Are you having trouble hearing me too?
Well, Martin Groves is probably the most well-known dogman survivor, attack survivor in the world. I don't know anybody that would be any bigger. It just so happens I'm very fortunate. You know, Martin Groves has been my best friend since we were really young, and 46 years we've been best friends. And you know, he's had experience that not many people live to tell about, and that was in the LBL, Land Between the Lakes of Tennessee and Kentucky, in 1993, 4 months after my first experience with Bigfoot. This was with Dogman, and these creatures tried to kill him and his partner Harry. They attacked their camp in April of '93, along with two Bigfoot that was in front of their truck as they tried to escape. You know, these creatures were trying to kill them, and Martin and I are very close. Ron Moorhead being my other best friend, probably number one in the world in Bigfoot or the Sierra Sounds for sure. And you know, I'm fortunate to have those two guys to rely on, and I think the world of both of them. But as far as what Martin seen was a dogman type creature that tried to kill him, and there was also two Bigfoot there. Ron Moorhead himself had the Sierra Sound, which everybody's familiar with that. But we have been back to that area. Martin and I have. Ron has been there also. There's only, as far as I know, 3 or 4 people ever been there to the area that Martin was almost killed at. And I was there in 2023 when a dogman type creature come out of the ditch. I was more of a creek bed, and it's a gravel dirt road area back there, and it's real remote in the Land Between the Lakes of Tennessee and Kentucky. And that was 29 years to the year of the actual attack, not the date or the day, but this particular creature went from a mist to a silver color and came out of the ravine and came around us, and it was very strange. I've never seen a creature like that. I think I may have lost you guys. Are y'all there?
Yeah, we're here. Can you see me and hear me, Darrell? Coley, I don't think he can see me.
This particular creature, we did a documentary on this particular sighting with Small Town Monsters in 2024, and actually we did 3 documentaries on that particular sighting. This creature was huge. It was, I've seen 4 dogmen in my lifetime. I've never seen one like that one. And it had the head about half the size of the windshield of our truck. And we're in a very remote area on a dirt road. There's nobody out there. It's 170,000 acres of rural area of the Land Between the Lakes, and very near the site that Martin was almost killed at in 1993. And his partner never recovered from it, and he did pass away. But this creature came out of this ravine, out of a ditch, and it was 5 to 7 feet from me, and it went from kind of a blue mist into a silver-looking creature, silver gray. You could actually see the tips of the fur lit up with like light, and the tips of the fur, and his head was about the size of the windshield. Had mane around its neck like a lion. Had deep eyes like a clear flashlight, and it just looked at me and kind of a smirked look. And I could have reached over and touched it. I thought it was going to jump in the truck and attack us, but it didn't. And it got up from the ditch and the ravine it was laying in, and it went around the back of our truck and went around the Martin side. It kind of glided. It didn't actually walk. It kind of glided. Martin got zapped, and I got zapped, and that's an infrasound type things these creatures can do to you. And I was hit not nearly as bad as he was. He was struggling to breathe. His throat swelled together and his tongue swelled up, and he was telling me, "I can't breathe. Help me." And I was trying to help him. This creature went by him on the side as it looked back at us as it went through this field. It went up the side of a hill, and we heard all kinds of branches and limbs breaking as it went up into the woods, and then it disappeared. And I was more interested in getting Martin out of there because he was having a difficulty in breathing. And we finally did get out of there and drove to a safe spot in a lighted area on down the Trace Parkway, and got him out, got him some water, and got him to breathing a little better. And his symptoms wore off a little bit from the zapping or the infrasound that he took, and he was better, but he wasn't well. And quite frankly, he hasn't been well since then. And I got hit too, but not as bad as he did. Mine was mainly in my legs being kind of numb, and my upper chest, and then I had a nauseous feeling in my body and kind of a headache. But mine was a lot quicker than his, and I recovered a little better. He was sick for about 2 weeks. Quite frankly, he's really never been well since that happened. And he's still struggling, and I appreciate everybody keeping Martin Groves in your prayers. He is recovering and getting better, but he's not there yet. But that creature put some type of scent inside the truck also. It was a real foul odor, hard to explain what it smelled like. It was terrible. Martin had the truck cleaned 3 times. There's also a coating that was sprayed over the truck, apparently from that creature. And he had it washed and buffed out several times. And there was still some residue of that on the hood of that truck that this creature apparently sprayed upon the truck. I've never seen anything like that. I don't know what it was. The other dogmen I've seen looked more flesh and blood. This thing was like nothing I've ever seen, because when it walked across the field with my flashlight shined on it, I was worried that it was going to jump into the side of the truck and attack Martin, and I was shining my light through his side window, and you could see through this thing. It was transparent. At the same time, it was a full creature, but it was transparent also, and I've never seen anything like that. But it caught the attention of quite a few directors, and Small Town Monsters was the first to do the actual documentary on what we seen in that area, and super great people. I appreciate Seth Breedlove and Eli Watson, Heather Moses, the whole bunch. They were just fantastic. Alexander. I had a great time doing that with them. But that's pretty much it on that creature. I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. So I can't tell you a lot more than I just told you.
Wow, that's amazing. I think it's like good lucky you guys got out of there alive,
Wow. That's intense.
Most definitely.
No.
I've had some really weird experiences. We basically, up until just a few months ago, my team for a long time has been Martin Groves and Barton Nunnelly, who's had a lot of experiences, and Ron Moorhead. Those are my teammates, and we've researched the land between the lakes for Martin and I have been researching that area for over 25 years. And Barton himself about 17 with us, and Ron the last 4 or 5, but last 2 or 3. regularly. But we've had a lot of experiences in that area. This is land between the lakes, so it's known as it's a real strange area in Tennessee, Kentucky. There's all kinds of stories that go back there from the 1700s all the way to the current, and including a family that was killed there by a dogman creature or a dogman creatures in 1982. It's called the LBL Massacre. Family of four was killed by a creature there. There's quite a few people missing from that area. Martin has done a fantastic job by interviewing people, former park rangers, people who have been attacked, different things that went on in that area besides his own encounter. But that's our main area of research. I've researched lots of areas all over the country, including the Blue Ridge Mountains of West Virginia, Virginia and West Virginia, Kentucky. Just lots of Jersey, New Jersey. I've done a lot of research in this area. There's a lot of active cryptids here. These creatures are everywhere. They're not just one area. I think it would kind of surprise people to know how many are really out there, because it's quite shocking the number of these creatures that are out there. There's a lot more now than there was when I got started. I don't know why that is, but there's a lot more Bigfoot, and I think a lot more dogmen. So it's hard to say how many, but it's a large number, and these things are in your downtown city park. Don't think they're just out in the wilderness. I've got plenty of people that's called me and sent me messages, them seeing these creatures come in downtown in the middle of a populated area. They usually follow a funnel down. And when I say a funnel, a wood line from a higher elevation down into a city park, into an area that's more populated for a diner or a food area. And they'll come in at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and they'll raid the dumpsters for scraps, free meal. So got tons of those calls, and people saying they've seen them. And even got to Martin Groves and I had a call from a judge in Maryville, Tennessee, that said, "I'm not crazy. If you think I'm lying, come to my house. 2:30 in the morning, there's a dog man that walks down my street." So, I haven't been there. Martin's been real sick for over a year now, and I do believe what reason would people have to lie about this stuff? So, I don't understand what reason it would be, but I'm sure there's some of this that's not true. But most of the stuff that I've investigated myself over the years, I can't say that I've had a couple of cases that I couldn't be sure on, but I'd say 99% of them, these people aren't making this up. They've got something going on. And it's not always Bigfoot or Dogman related. It's sometimes paranormal related. But I'm not a paranormal person. I've been around paranormal stuff, but I'm not an expert on anything. I can only talk about what I've encountered and experienced myself. But a lot of real weird things out there. Real weird things. People would be shocked. I worry about what I worry about the most, and our team worries about the most, is you got grandma and the grandkids going out with grandpa, camping out in the area that could have some type of creature that could harm you or the children too. And I worry about the national parks not telling people that these things exist, or the government telling people. And of course, we know they're not ever going to tell anybody, because a dollar bill is the key to everything we're involved in this world. And, the national park industry is a $2.8 billion, that's with a B, billion-dollar industry every year. People paying, fees to get in and walk the trails and camp the campsites and whatever else they do. It's a large number that the federal government brings in, and I don't have an issue with that. But my issue is, if you tell somebody that there's an 8-foot or taller Bigfoot type creature running around in the forest out there that might harm you, it's going to hurt your revenue at the national parks. And my gosh, if you tell them there's a dog man or some type of skinwalker creature, which I've seen, and February, March of 24, all three of us witnessed that creature that I'd never seen before. You tell them these creatures exist, and it would do a definite downward swing on the revenue that the national park systems take in. So it's my opinion. Everybody has them, and that's the way I feel about it. I think it needs to be more honest and open. I don't want anybody to get hurt, especially an entire family to go disappear. So that's our team's goal, is to let people know what's out there.
I agree. So do you think that ties into the missing 411 that David Polides talks about? Do you think that it might have something to do with it, Darrell?
I'm so sorry, Rob. I couldn't understand you. I really couldn't.
He can't hear me. I don't think he can hear me, Coley.
I had my mic. Are you able to hear Darrell? I didn't know. I don't know. I think that he might. I don't know if it's on. I don't think it's on our end. Are you able to hear us, Darrell? Oh crap! No, he can't hear.
I'm sorry. I can't understand what it is. So it's hard to explain. Can't understand. You maybe just direct a couple words, and maybe I can pick up what you're getting to.
Sure. Just continue on with what you were saying, Darrell. You can just continue until you can't. I can send you a message too. For some reason, I don't know. Rob, is the audience having a hard time hearing us?
The audience can hear everything loud and clear. Everything's going through fine with the audience.
Okay.
It's just the connection here between, and this is an issue with StreamYard, guys. Like this isn't Coley's fault or isn't it my fault. This is what happens with StreamYard, unfortunately. And it's a shame because we, well, I don't want to get into it. Like we pay them good money to, and this happens with it all the time with the different guests. So it's like, Darrell, if you want to just pick up where you were going with maybe some of your investigations and maybe some of the interesting stuff you found, that would be cool.
I'm not sure exactly what you said, but I'll try to continue on a little bit what I was talking about. I'm sorry this is happening this way because I enjoy being on your show, but I just can't understand what you're asking me. And but the I don't know how many people are actually missing in the national parks. I have no idea. Martin Groves has done a tremendous amount of work interviewing people in the area that we research in, which is the land between the lakes of Tennessee and Kentucky. And I know there is a considerable amount of people missing from there. I don't know the exact number, but I know there are. I'm sure there are in other parts. What I understand from David Polides, who I consider a great friend to me, I believe what the man tells. He has no reason to speculate on anything but true facts, and I think he's very good at that. And, you look at a place like Yosemite National Park. That's Yosemite National Park. I believe I'm correct in saying it's most people in the world missing there. Of any other place in the world, you got more people missing Yosemite National Park than anywhere else. So that's pretty shocking, but that's Dave Polides has made that statement, and I believe Dave Polides. So I do also believe, I don't think it's all Bigfoots and cryptids taking or killing or whatever's happening to people. I think there's another unknown entity that we're not familiar with out there. And I wish that I knew what it was. I'm sure we all do. But that's, when you use that number of Yosemite as being the number, there's more people missing than anywhere in the world in Yosemite National Park. That's a big statement. All these parks have got, of course, there's natural things that happen. People fall off cliffs. People are probably, get lost and get hypothermia and pass themselves. There's a lot of natural things. I'm not relating everything to be some type of cryptid or creature taking somebody, and I never would say that because I think that'd be ludicrous. But a bear attack, when a bear attacks someone and kills them, or a cougar, you're going to find pieces of clothing and everything else. And these people, nothing are found of. They just vanished like they walked off the face of the earth. Or you might, in a lot of those cases, there's areas that he calls clusters. And I think a lot of this is related to cryptids. I do think it's related. I don't think all of it is, but there is a predator out there. And when you find next to a creek bank, you'll find the victim who's missing clothes folded up in a pile with both shoes there. And the person's never been seen again, including his backpack or anything that would be pretty easy or not very easy to just disappear. Hunters are the same way. It's very weird to me why elk hunters disappear more than anybody else. Or elk hunters disappear. I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of things going on, and I do relate some of it to the cryptids. I don't think your average Bigfoot on your farm is out to harm you. I will say that. Most of these people that I contact or call me about a Bigfoot or a dogman type creature they've seen around their house at 2 o'clock in the morning, or they're leaving their car going into the house and they see one standing in the driveway. Most of those creatures live in that area, and I don't think that they're out there to get you. But some of these remote areas that people go hiking in and very remote, we don't know what's out there. And, I've seen some very strange things that I never thought existed. I never knew that a Bigfoot existed until November of '92, my first sighting. And then I had another sighting in '99, and I became very close friends to that group that lived on the river in Tennessee. So, there's dogmen out there. I've witnessed those. The first dogman I seen was 2021 in Tazewell County, Virginia. It was killing the family goats. Killed every goat they had. They didn't know what it was. I've seen what they call a skinwalker or a crawler in the LBL in March of 2024. I witnessed that creature. It ran up a tree just like nothing. It was a humanoid-looking creature, very white in color, very skinny. Myself and Martin Groves and Barton Nunnelly witnessed that creature. We've also recorded some howls and yells and screams in the LBL in between the lakes that we have kept on file. And we've had those analyzed, and one of those screams or yells has never been heard in the history of that type of work of the people who adjust and read on those type of creatures or any type of voice recognition, pretty similar like the Sierra sounds that my buddy Ron Moorhead had. There's some very strange things in the wildernesses and the woods out there. And don't think these things aren't close to your homes if you're close to woods, because they are. They're not just deep in the forest, but they're not out to harm you, a lot of them. They just live in the area you live in. So don't panic. Don't become frightened. Just keep your doors locked at night. Don't let the children go out without you, and be safe about it. Don't take your gun and run out in the woods and start shooting at them. That's the worst thing you can do. Try to commit to these creatures that you're willing to be friends with them as long as they are you. And that would be my suggestion to anybody that had some type of creature living on their property. If it becomes too frightened, then move. Leave if you're too scared. But always remember, if you put up trail cameras and bright lights around your house, they're not going to come around. They do not like those. They don't want you to take the picture. So that's the easy way to keep them away from your house. I guess I've rambled on here quite a bit. I wish I could understand some of the questions that my friend Coley and Rob were asking me. I apologize.
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me now, Darrell, at all? Can you hear me? Or
I do. You're a lot better. You're breaking up, but you're a lot better.
Okay. I was going to say we have about 10 minutes left. I was going to say, is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience before we finish up? Again, I just want to apologize about the audio. That usually doesn't happen, and we really enjoy having you on. I think you're one of the best Bigfoot researchers out there, and I really enjoyed this, even though we had bad audio. I hope you were able to hear that. But I really thoroughly enjoyed this. It was amazing. And was there anything else you wanted to share before we finish up?
Well, I appreciate that, Rob. Thank you so much. And Coley, you too. I just think the world of you guys. And Coley's been so kind to me and in my group and been involved in it too. That means a lot to me. So, I've got plenty of things I could go into, but I don't want to take a lot more time. I know y'all are short on time. You got another guest coming on tonight too, but maybe I can come on again some other time and we can talk about something that you more related to what you had questions for. So.
Thank you, Darrell. We'll have you back on. Definitely have you back on. I apologize. Are you able to hear me now, Darrell? Oh, no. Okay.
I didn't hear all that, but I think you said you'd have me back on. Just shake your head.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
I would appreciate you guys if you would keep in prayers for my good friend Martin Groves and my friend Ron Moorhead and I will be starting our podcast this week. That's Ronald J. Moorhead. It's called Two Real Cryptid Legends, and that will be coming up. We'll be starting this week, our first show. It took quite a while because he's been so busy at conferences, and I've been so busy at conferences and running across the country. So we're finally going to get this thing going. So I'd appreciate everybody checking us out and liking and subscribing like you do with Coley and Rob here. So I think they have an excellent show, and I hope ours is just as good as theirs. So, but I appreciate everyone watching and hearing what I had to say tonight. And you can always reach out or join my group. Any questions you have, I'll try to ask. I'll try to answer. I don't know that I have to answer all of them, but I'd be more than happy to try to. So I'm very honored to be here. Thank you, Coley. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. It was awesome, Darrell. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I felt so bad. I hope he's so wonderful. He really is. And I just feel horrible that happened, but we'll have him back on. We'll get Darrell back on and we'll able to, get updated and everything. So yeah, we have another show coming up here shortly. So we'll go ahead and catch you on the flip side. And closing out, I know, Rob, you want to go ahead and.
I was just going to say, if you're listening on Twitter, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Rumble or Facebook, wherever, just go to Coley's YouTube or Twitter or my YouTube or Rumble. We'll be live on all four of those in about 8 minutes with Jeff McBurney. He was on Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, and it's going to be an amazing show. I'm really looking forward to it. It should be a banger. So, definitely tune in, guys. And that's it for me.
Yeah, no, well, thank you for taking the journey into the unknown with us, the Next Radio and Typical Skeptic podcast. And we will be seeing you here in about 10 minutes. So if you're on, catch us on the flip side. Until then, we're out. Mm-hmm.